Hey everybody, BW Cummins here with a painting for you. Now, I've said in my last few posts that I moved across the country and quit my job in the design slash, digital creative world and am pursuing the fine arts again. That's where I got my start, and that's where my passion is. And so, sharing the gospel and sharing whatever stories, visual stories through the fine arts. That's what I want to do. So I hadn't picked up a brush in a while, and this was an old sketch. These hands holding an apple was an old sketch on a canvas that I found, and so I thought, hey, that'll be the a good way to start, I guess, for lack of a better term. And just to put the brush on a canvas and get the feeling for it, I wanted this to be kind of multimedia and sloppy. You can see that those drips are intentional, just so that the color did a little something something. And it ended up covering most of it anyway. But I just needed to put a brush on a canvas to reacquaint myself with it. And so the piece that I come out with in the end, it almost looks like like a high school project. It's okay. It has a little story to it. The top is gardeny and the bottom is thorny. Not like the sketch that you see. I went a different way. I kind of went a little more like a combination of fine art and graphics. And so, the piece, when I'm done, I don't know. It's just, it tells a story. It's like Adam and Eve, the original sin. I wanted to get a representation of the serpent in there, so that I gave them each tattoos of snakes. Anyway, so yeah, this was just an exercise. The result is not important, and I don't know. I was able to get some acrylic paint and get my brushes out and just get the feel for it. And then I moved into the Jesus Heals the Leper painting that I posted recently. And then the third painting, and I did these all out of order because, whatever. The third painting I did was the Will You Go Out Without Knowing, where the guy's looking at an empty canvas standing on a kind of a mountain cliff looking out. And so now I'm painting a portrait. I'm in the middle of painting a portrait, and I'm really getting a good feel. I want to paint loose, and not all refined and clean. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but I call it kind of a realistic expressionism, to where, I'm putting dabs of paint that do represent real things and lights and shadows, but, if you get up close, there's dabs of paint and paint strokes. And I love that look. I've always liked that look, so that's how I want to paint. I do appreciate like the ultra realism, smooth oil painters, and maybe I'll try that because, I hope to do every kind of art there is under the sun before I die, but some of it's really expensive. And oil right now is, it's its own animal, and I'll get into it, but, just the whole cleanup and everything and the smell in my house, I don't know. So, yeah, you see, I'm starting to, and this one, like, I created it as I went. I didn't have a photo reference. These hands holding this fruit was from another painting I did for my church a long time ago, and that's the only visual reference I had. I'd lost the photo reference, so that's why the shading, I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not because I didn't have the original photo reference that I used. I just had the old painting. So it's almost like if you copy something and recopy it on a copy machine, you're going to lose quality every time or lose something. And so I'm sure I did. Went leaves on the top, thorns on the bottom. The reason this is a multimedia piece is later I come in with a paint pen, and do some outlining on things just to make it pop more. Again, this is a story that I'm telling of the Garden of Eden, the original sin. And so however that translated, and it wasn't translating just in paint. So I went and grabbed some, I think they're acrylic paint pens, and just did some outlining and whatnot. And I think it helped it. It definitely gave it a different look. It's artsy. I don't know if it's painterly. So you'll have to tell me what you think. But just going through and adding these lines to me helped set it in. And um, one, I don't think I filmed all of this line work, but in the end, I go and put some outlines around the hands and the apple, and I draw the little tattoos in, which I do show, and then it's done. And like I say, to me, it kind of looks like a little bit of a high school project, but it did what I needed to do, and that's just start. I was trying to think of what do I do, in my first painting and blah blah blah, and I say blah 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 so much. I try to edit it out, but that one I'm gonna leave. Anyway, so I saw this canvas over there with the sketch on it that has been on there for years and years and years, and thought, well, it's a start. I know what an apple looks like. I know what hands look like, so I will go ahead and do it, and then just really created the concept as I went. And here we go, high school art, all for you. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. I know I needed it and learned something. And have a great day. Bye now.